the one and only Ivan. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and let's get started. For now, we have seen a lot of things, and right now, I would say that we could all agree that The One and Only Ivan is a very good movie. Now, it is actually based on this book, The One and Only Ivan. Yes, the same title, and in the movie, they even show the same way the title is written, and that is actually the very most famous version of the book title. And right now, The One and Only Ivan seems to be a bit of a good movie. Now, on the book it says it's soon to be a major motion picture, but it's already a major motion picture, so yippee! I got the book that was printed before this was even created. Yippee! And who farted? Beep. Now, a few technical difficulties here. And right now, The One and Only Ivan seems to be a very, very good movie because I've actually watched it and it is good. It's where basically there are animals that talk in an animal language where humans cannot understand, and it's basically the book, but some sort of parts different. Basically, where Ivan lives in a circus with an owner called Mac, who used to take care of him as a human baby when he was a child. Well, maybe until he was 3 years old when he was too big to be in the house. The One and Only Ivan's was treated like a human. And the guy over here is called Mac. And eventually he was a very good artist. He was able to draw a lot of things. And his parents did call him Mud. His actual parents called him Mud because he always went away from the truth to always search for it and search for it. Whenever he found mud, he used it to draw on every surface that he could find. His father thought that was a little strange to be because he was technically a silverback, and he tried to teach him how to be an actual gorilla and how to be an actual silverback. Ivan was a work in progress, but his father was still proud of him and even loved him for a lot. Even when he actually failed to do stuff, his father still loved Ivan, but until the day when the poachers came. He also had a twin sister called Tag because she always loved to play it and she always won. And he named the doll not Tag because he'll never be Tag. There's also a character of a dog named Bob, and he was called Bob in the movie by Julia, and basically, yeah, even uses it as a like Bobby dog, Bob doggy, Bobby dog, Bobby Bobby dog, and yeah, focus. And Ivan sort of has a plan to get themselves into the wild. Firstly, he starts trying to draw, and eventually he does some sort of a little crazy thing that sort of seems to be very crazy. He escapes by stealing keys from his owner. Secondly, he tries to go through the forest, but then realizes that it just leads to another city. Now, those are very disappointing times, but then he gets put back into the circus. Then the bunny says, well, then the chicken and the bunny from the circus says, oh, well, you got a new fire. Also, the chicken says to the bunny, hey, they got a new fire truck. And the bunny says, yeah, but who drives a yellow fire truck? Because the truck is yellow. And that is very bad. And we might not even think of ourselves as not that well, as good as anyone. The One and Only Ivan seems to be a very good gorilla. When he drew a painting on the show, during the show, his human friend Julia realizes that he really wants to be in the wild. And when he actually is put in a zoo and takes care of Ruby, well, he has a friend called Stella who dies in the movie, and she's actually voiced by this actor called Angelina Jolie, which is actually an actor in the movie Eternals, a very recent movie, Eternals. It's actually out, and I just was waiting for it to be on the website, and it's on the website I actually use right now. Anyway, back to the point. Stella was voiced by Angelina Jolie, who actually, sadly, Stella died in the movie. Stella died in the movie, not Angelina Jolie, who made Ivan promise to take care of Ruby and let her be somewhere else, not at the park, not at the circus. And as much as that might have seemed very good, we have a few technical difficulties I will have to point out. Firstly, Ivan has no way he could actually make that promise. And secondly, he does make the promise. When Juliet gives him fingerprints and he draws a drawing, he's put in a zoo. And he realizes that Ruby is living a good life. This movie and book is based on an actual story. On a real story. There really was a gorilla named Ivan who was saved from poachers by a family. And he lived with the family. And the family loved him a lot. When at the age of 3, when he was too old to be in the house anymore, he was sent into the zoo. He hasn't been able to get out in 27 years. And he got out when he was like 30 years old, I guess. And on the 27th year, protesters started protesting that Ivan needed to be in a better place. And they were able to succeed, putting him in a zoo. And that's where Ivan stayed until the rest of his day. And at the end of the movie, Bob comes back, being domesticated, and talks to Ivan. Bob says, "Don't forget, Ivan. You're the one and only Ivan." And Ivan says, "That's me, Mighty Silverback." And that's where the movie ends. There is a great deal of things that happen in the movie One and Only Ivan. We see a lot of love and affection for two species who are very similar in geneticity and almost smartness. And as much as I would like to take all the credit for creating the movie, even though I didn't, we do learn a few things in the movie. That, one, we should be like Ivan, to draw it so well that it comes true, and that one person actually interprets it to be for someone to want to be in the wild. So I'm just going to say here that one of the main reasons why I like this movie is because of how it's portrayed and how it's acted. And that's the end of this movie and story. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Click either of these two videos, and I highly recommend to watch this movie. I guess it's on Disney Plus because it's a Disney movie. And I will see you in the next episode. Shannon out. Peace. Hey guys, I just came back with this cat. Cute, eh? Hey, where'd it go? Ah! It's an ember cat!